Absolute chaos and drama in Tallahassee today. Wait till you see all of this as the Disney versus DeSantis battle heads further down the tracks. This is the Florida House of Representatives. Listen to the Democratic protesters here.
And we will vote on these two bills. It is my hope that we will be able to proceed civilly and with decorum and with respect for one another. Read the next bill.
All right, this is the Disney
By
bill.
Senator Bradley, Senate Bill 4C, a bill to be entitled an act relating to independent special districts.
All right, this is the independent special districts bill, which is targeting Disney and the DeSantis versus Disney battle. The people who are here protesting, they're actually protesting something that already passed. It was a map redistricting issue where DeSantis drew the maps and the Republicans voted for them and they pushed it through, and they were claiming this was racist or whatever. There's a lot getting done by Florida Republicans. While I can't even really tell what the message is of these Democrats who were protesting this, I'm not sure how effective that is. The vote goes on, right? They still vote, and they had enough yays on this one as well. There they are. They changed the camera right here, right there. You can see they're back here.
Representative Fine, you're recognized to explain your bill.
Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It seems as Mickey and many have joined us in the chamber today. That said, this is the bill that we discussed yesterday.
Members, we will either go into structured debate or we will call the previous question.
Here it goes.
Representative Renner, you're recognized for a motion.
In just a second, they're going to do the vote, and you'll hear how it went down. I want to go back to what's actually happening here and what's going to happen next, which will blow your mind, so stick with me.
Here, Mr. Speaker, I move the previous question on the bill.
Representative Renner moves the previous question on the bill. This motion is not debatable and requires a majority vote. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, no. Show the motion passes. We will now proceed to call the previous question.
They're still screaming.
The clerk will unlock the machine and members will proceed to vote on Senate Bill 4C.
All right, they're starting the actual vote now, and they're just still screaming at the top of their lungs.
Have all members voted? Have all members voted?
And there you go. That's that. I mean, this is what it all comes down to. You can shout all you want from the back of the room, but you got to get the votes in. You got to get the people to actually get those yays in as opposed to the nays. And this all started really when DeSantis decided to pick a fight with Disney, who went after him after this so-called Don't Say Gay bill. And here is the moment when I knew at the very end of March that DeSantis was going to be serious about going after this. Watch this.
So you saw a lot of this, but then for Disney to come out and put a statement and say that the bill should have never passed and that they are going to actively work to repeal it, I think one was fundamentally dishonest, but two, I think that crossed the line. This state is governed by the interests of the people of the state of Florida. It is not based on the demands of California corporate executives.
That's what he was heavy on, and he meant it. And it's all about this, the Reedy Creek Improvement District Charter. This is it. It's boring, it's old, and nobody really talked about it until now. Very quickly, they snapped together two bills. This is in the Florida House of Representatives. As you can see, there's not much to it. It basically just says these independent special districts will be slapped down and dissolved effective June 1st, 2023, and that the act would take effect on July 1st of 2022. More on that in just a second. An almost identical bill went through the Florida Senate before it went through the House, but these bills are very, very simple. This is what they were voting on. When there was some questioning about this, there was a couple interesting moments. Here's one where somebody said, "You're not even asking questions."
Have you met with and communicated with those stakeholders who are impacted? Have you met with workers? Have you met with Orange and Osceola County government? Have you met with the Reedy Creek Improvement District? Have you met with any of the other special districts? Or is this just something that you don't believe requires their input before you file this legislation?
I've not met with any of them. However, they have their opportunity in input. As I've said repeatedly, they have next session to come back to us, as 127 special districts have done over the past 55 years. So I anticipate all of those conversations will happen. And I think all these companies these these special districts will consider that.
A little Freudian slip there, saying companies instead of special districts because they clearly are targeting Disney here. Well, regardless of what you think, that doesn't matter. I'm here for the drama, and the Florida House of Representatives has given final passage to this bill that will dissolve a private government that Walt Disney World has been allowed to operate for more than 5 decades. I'm going to tell you more about that in a moment. It's pretty interesting stuff, so stick with me. House lawmakers approved the measure on Thursday. The passage is a victory for Republican Governor Ron DeSantis. He lashed back at the entertainment giant after it's publicly declared its opposition to the Don't Say Gay law, which is really not actually called that. In response to the law, Disney suspended political donations in the state, and the CEO, Bob Chapek, who's done a terrible job handling this, in my estimation, jumped out in defense of what he thought his employees wanted. Here's the interesting part. The Disney bill would eliminate the self-governed districts by June 2023, but it does allow the districts to be reestablished in the future, leaving the door open for further negotiations. What is this? This is a hostage negotiation. It's saying, hey, we've got it set up that special districts will be abolished and melted in June of 2023. But perhaps we can bring it back if you're good boys and girls. This is a message from the governor of Florida to Disney to back off. What do you think about that? Let me know. A little more about what the RCID actually does. That's the Reedy Creek Improvement District. They say when Walt Disney was scouting Central Florida for his next theme park in the mid-1960s, neither Orange nor Osceola County had the resources or staff to manage the massive development, and the creation of RCID was supported by both local and state government officials. The 1967 statute, that's how old this thing is, that created RCID granted the Walt Disney Company broad powers to develop and control the land they purchased to build projects that would eventually include some of the world's top tourist attractions. That means Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, hotels, restaurants, and retail stores. It encompasses a roughly 2,500 acre parcel south of Orlando, stretching over Orange and Osceola counties. And as you can see right here, this is the actual Reedy Creek Improvement District. This is the actual boundaries of this area. It includes a lot of where Disney is, et cetera, et cetera. Inside that area, this is kind of important right here. Disney collects and remits sales taxes. They're in charge. They're like a little mini government, and they collect sales taxes from people, and they remit those sales taxes afterwards. They also collect tourist development taxes from hotel guests, and RCID pays county property taxes, nearly $300 million from 2015 to 2020. They also levy taxes on their own properties to cover needed expenditures for fire and emergency medical services, a power plant, waste and water treatment. It's a whole city. You can see recycling, construction, roadways, waterways, all of that stuff. All happens here. Disney does it on their own. But if the governor signs this and we wait till 2023 as a result of these votes, well, guess what's going to happen? Disney's no longer going to be able to be in control of that. Somebody else from the county will have to be in control of that. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Should the governor of Florida be targeting these corporations for political disagreements in which they engage? After all, I didn't hear a lot of Ron DeSantis talking about Disney or talking about things like the RCID and wanting to go after Disney and remove this special status before their personal battle went down. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Facebook.com/TheNewsJunkie. Hit the follow button. YouTube.com/TheNewsJunkie. Hit subscribe. I'll see you in the comments as always. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again real soon.